After a solid year of grueling work, it was time for the workers at the International Airport Development Company to let their hair down at the annual Christmas social and send-off for our Cuban brothers and sisters. It was also a time for recognition, as we awarded those workers who were thought to have performed outstandingly at their respective duties throughout the year. It was a happy occasion as Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves took the time out to grace us with his presence. The Prime Minister used the occasion to address workers as he welcomed all members of the Chateauye Che contingent, noting that he is very satisfied with the progress and is hopeful that the preparations for the regulatory authorities to give the right of way for planes to land at Argyle would be completed in 2013.
It has been a long, hard struggle.
Ha sido una lucha muy larga y dura.
And it would not have been possible to have reached this far
Y no será posible llegar tan lejos
without the internationalist solidarity by our Cuban brothers and sisters and Venezuelan brothers and sisters and others who have contributed to this project. Every time I speak about this airport,
Cada vez que hablo de este aeropuerto,
I have to recognize the signal contribution
tengo que reconocer la contribución
of Comandante Fidel,
del comandante Fidel Castro,
who, more than anyone else, from the very beginning,
quien más que nadie, desde el principio,
had faith that we could do this project.
tenía la fe que podemos hacer este proyecto.
And of course, when our comrade Hugo Chavez swiftly came on board, we knew that we were going to do this airport. A lot of people didn't believe it's possible. In fact, both Fidel and Hugo asked me if there wasn't another site, which was easier. But this was the only one. And we have done well. The government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I personally,
El gobierno y pueblo de San Vicente de Grenadines, yo en persona,
are eternally grateful
estamos eternamente agradecidos
to the comrades from Cuba and Venezuela
a los compañeros de Cuba y Venezuela
for your remarkable solidarity.
por su solidaridad que se nota.
Those of you who have worked on this project from overseas,
Todos los que han estado trabajando en ese proyecto de afuera,
consider yourself a friend of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
se pueden considerar como amigos de San Vicente y las Grenadinas.
And I expect you, after the project is completed,
Y espero que al terminar el proyecto,
to keep on visiting us and come,
que puedan seguir visitando a nosotros.
even to work among us again. I want to thank our Vincentian workers,
Quiero agradecer a los trabajadores vicentinos,
about whom I've received very good reports also.
de quienes he recibido también muy buenos reportes.
I want to thank our brothers and sisters too from the Republic of China and Taiwan.
Quiero también agradecer a los hermanos de Taiwán y China.
And I believe that this is the only project in the world in which we have Cuba, Venezuela, and Taiwan working on together. This is a real unique place.
Y creo que es el único proyecto del mundo donde tenemos a Cuba, Venezuela y Taiwán trabajando juntos.
We know what are all the international issues concerning that, but we have been able to work them out properly for the benefit of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I want to thank all those concerned.
Sabemos de los asuntos internacionales que tienen, hemos podido resolverlos y trabajar juntos. Y quiero agradecer a todos.
Please remember what I said.
Por favor, recuerda lo que digo.
Every single Cuban and Venezuelan
Cada cubano y venezolano
who has worked on this project
quien ha trabajado en este proyecto
will always be welcome in this country
será siempre bienvenido a este país
because of your extraordinary contribution.
por su
As has become the custom, every year we say goodbye to some of our Cuban brothers and sisters. We used this opportunity to send them off with tokens of appreciation. And while we said goodbye to some of the Cuban workers, other workers, both Cubans and Vincentians, were being recognized for their hard work on the project. Copping the award for most outstanding worker in the Finance, Admin and Communications departments was Mr. Stephen Lawrence, with Miss Abby Ned copping the same award in the Domestic Kitchen and Laundry department. Taking the award among the designers was Mr. Juan Jorge Colombi. In the laboratory, soil engineer Mr. Rudolph Jose Godinez Duval was voted the most outstanding worker. The most outstanding junior Vincentian worker in the industrial area was Mr. Leroy Charles, and the most outstanding junior Cuban worker in the industrial area, Mr. Rafael Balu Garcia. The most outstanding senior Cuban worker in the industrial area went to Mr. Alberto Antonio Castaneda Ramirez. Mr. Francis Oliver was voted the most outstanding senior Vincentian worker in the industrial area. The most outstanding Cuban worker in earthworks was Mr. Guinel Guerrera, while the most outstanding Vincentian worker in earthworks was Mr. Elvis Sam. There was also a surprise award given to the IADC's CEO, Dr. Rudy Matthias, in recognition of the tremendous responsibility that he carries as CEO to manage the Argyle Airport project to fruition. And come January 3rd, 2013, persons who use the road provided by the IADC to access Rawacou, Mt.Pleasant and Argyle Gardens will be using new access routes to get there. Pedestrians, that is, those traveling by foot to these areas, will continue to use the same route with one exception, that being, instead of using the normal access road, you will now be using these steps that are provided for you. These will take you down to the bottom of the hill. From here, everything remains the same. You will reconnect to what remains of the existing access road and continue on your journey as per usual. For motorists, if you're coming from the Stubbs end, rather than coming down on the old route, you will drive past the gap, continue along the new highway to the second right turn at the road which is being constructed to access the cargo terminal. Once here, you will follow the signs that would be put in place along this road and reconnect to the existing old access. From this point, everything remains the same. And for those traveling from the Peruvian Vale side, Simply continue along the new Windward Highway until you see the new access road sign that would be placed at this point. Make the left turn and continue on using the arrows that would be placed along the way. You too will reconnect to what remains of the existing access, where everything else remains the same. These changes are being put in place to allow field workers to remove the hill which forms part of the current access road, as we try to keep the project on schedule to be completed by the end of 2013. Just follow the signs and you won't get lost. Remember, these changes will take effect from Thursday, January 3rd, 2013. Meantime, may the peace of God be with you, may good health be yours, and may you and your family be abundantly blessed in the new year and beyond. Happy New Year to all from the International Airport Development Company.